Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much for having your time, Prabhu. We will be asking a couple of questions, Prabhu. Can you please help us know how did you came to Krishna Consciousness?
Yes, way back in 1978 and 1980, I was right from 78 when I passed my matriculation SSC from Maharashtra. I was dreaming to go to IIT, and then I breathed and ate and slept and dreamt only of IIT, Mumbai. And my father was a simple shopkeeper, and he had told that he will not be able to afford the IIT education. But I thought this is all sayings before I joined, but if I really crack the exam and get in Bombay IIT, then somehow they will make sure that I will be in IIT. So I didn't take that very seriously, and I was studying hard along with 12th for the IIT entrance, and I really put in my hard efforts, and finally I got admission. I got ranks suitable for getting admission in Bombay IIT. And there's a long story. To cut it short, due to family complicated situations, due to family complicated relationships between different members of the family, with conflicts of interest and with some ulterior motivations, due to all these complicated matters, finally, even after getting a suitable rank to go to IIT Bombay, I was not able to go to IIT Bombay, and I had to join medicine in Grant Medical College in JJ Hospital. And somehow from childhood I have worked in my brother's clinic, who is a doctor, and I served there as an assistant, and I dealt with medicines and injections and syringes and so many things. So somehow I had developed a dislike for patients and medicines, and I never wanted to join medicine, but somehow by the will of the providence, as I can say now, I was in JJ Hospital, and that really put me into so many deep questions about my life, that what is destiny, what is the role of hard work, who is controlling all these things, what is the role of desire with hard work, who decides the result, even if I worked so hard, why something else is happening than what I am desiring. All these kind of deep philosophical questions about life came into my mind, and I used to sit on the seashore in Dadar Chowpatty and sometimes cry and sometimes deeply meditate about all these mysteries of life with no answers, of course. And then I was in medicine, and I had no interest in that. First term went by, second term went by, third term went by, the final exam came by, and then I studied a bit, and I somehow got through the first MBBS. Then things went okay, but I became kind of a rebellious person, because I was a rank holder in Maharashtra in the matriculation, and the whole state I had 16th rank, and I stood up 9th in Bombay, and I got prize in Hindi in whole Maharashtra. I studied hard, I got good marks in 12th, I cleared IIT, and still I had to undergo education which I didn't want to undergo or take up. So I became kind of rebellious, and I did all kinds of nonsense which the students do in the college and hostel. And in the meantime, the students who were my colleagues and friends in 12th standard who appeared in IIT with me, cleared IIT with me, but went to IIT and started studying over there. And I joined them as friends. I would go there from my JJ Hospital hostel to meet my friends in IIT Bombay and spend weekend with them, Saturday night, Sunday night sometimes, and enjoy kind of 2 days hostel life in IIT, which I wanted to be there. And there I met some friends. Some of my friends already were there, and through them I met some other friends, and they were practicing Krishna consciousness. And there started discussion about Krishna consciousness. I was already angry with the situations in my life, and I was kind of rebellious, very aggressive in nature. So I was aggressively questioning them, debating with them, thrashing them and crushing them, and sometimes insulting them when I was angry. But in the process, they were answering me patiently. And my friend, His Grace Dayaram Prabhu, he was the person who actually we were together and we went to IIT. I could not go. So he was the one who used to come from IIT, go to Juhu temple, pick up Mahaprasad from Andheri and travel all the way to Bhaikala, Sandhurst Road, come to JJ Hospital Hostel with Mahaprasadam and preach me about the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. And I would purposely order non-veg food in the canteen in front of him just to irritate him. And one full year his friends in the IIT campus, and he coming up regularly to my hostel, tried their best to tell me about the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. I questioned, I argued, and I gained some knowledge, but I was such a rebellious mood that I told them that, I told him that please don't come anymore. I am not interested in all these things, and whenever I will be interested, I will let you know. So now please don't bother me. And then I would really order non-vegetarian just to irritate and tell them to go back. One day, my dear friend, His Grace Dayaram Prabhu asked me, can you, for the sake of my friendship with you, come one day to temple? And then if you don't like it, I will leave you and I will not bother you anymore. I will be your friend but not bother you with this subject matter. So to fulfill his, abhi we say in Hindi, dosti ka wasta diya. He took the name of friendship, so it was like very emotional. So I said, yeah, for the sake of my friendship with you, I will definitely honor your request of coming to the temple. And that day, in those days, only one temple, that is Juhu temple, Juhu Hare Krsna temple. So on the 4th February 1984, it was a Saturday evening, I met my girlfriend and I said goodbye to her at the bus stop, and I came walking to Juhu temple, received by Dayaram Prabhu, and stayed overnight there. Ate prasadam in the evening. There also I was blasting him aggressively because whatever he fed me, I got loose motions. So I was again medically arguing with him, what kind of food you are giving me, all these things. Anyway, the relationship of diarrhea was not with the food but with something else. I stayed overnight and in Brahmachari ashram in Juhu temple, and I woke up. He woke me up at about 3:30 or something. We took cold bath from one drum, joint bath with all people. I dressed up and he put me tilak on my forehead, and we went to the main temple hall at 4:25 a.m. And there some dim light was there, some sannyasi were there, and I forgot to mention the evening when I reached there, there was one Swamiji who took us to Srila Prabhupada's quarters on 5th floor in Juhu temple, and he gave some nice lecture which was quite joking, quite jolly and quite happy, and so I was very happy with that person's lecture. And he happened to be His Holiness Sridhar Maharaj, whom I came to know later on, and he became very close to all of us. And the next morning, I saw him again in the morning in a dim light chanting, and another Swami, Amiya Vilas Swami Maharaj was there chanting, and some few devotees more. And within few minutes, 3 persons came out of the altar, and they blew the conch shells at the same time in the same pace. Then at the same time they went inside the curtain. At the same time the 3 curtains opened. At the same time they began offering incense, then lamp, and then everything else till the last peacock fan. And then again all of them came out and all of them blew the conch shells, and the whole experience of the beautiful darshan of the Lord, Radha Ras Bihari, Lalita Vishakha, Sri Sri Kaur Nitai, Sita Ram, Lakshman Hanumanji, and the dim light on them, and the dedicated, devoted devotees chanting the holy names and prayers, the atmosphere, the vibration, The whole experience was so beautiful, so spiritual. Of course, I didn't know what spiritual and transcendental meant that time, but whatever I experienced was very transcendental, very spiritual, very serene, very peaceful and very blissful. And at that very moment of my contact of my retina, that is my screen in the eyes, and the Lord, all questions, whatever I had and I thought I had, and whatever questions I argued with, all were resolved there. And I decided that I will follow this path. I thought why I was wasting my time in arguing and being aggressive with devotees. Mangalarti ended and time was chanting, and everybody went out to Juhu beach to chant. I also went along with them. We came back, and lo and behold, the same person who spoke in the night, His Holiness Sridhar Swami, was giving Bhagavatam lecture. And again he was as jolly as he was in the night. A very wonderful class, and very happy I felt in being in his association in Bhagavatam class. That was ended, and there came that ambrosial, celestial, nectarine, sweet rice which they would distribute after the Bhagavatam class for all those who attended the Bhagavatam class. And that touch, refrigerated, cold, ice cold touch on the forearm, and then to the tongue and to the heart, was so enchanting and enlivening that I wanted to have another one, and they gave me, I think, extra another one, and I was so much addicted to that later on. After that, there was time to go to Prasad, and in between the sweet rice and the main Prasadam, Dayaram Prabhu I asked Dayaram Prabhu, so now you tell me what I should do. So I was quite surprised, So he just took me to one shop, the gift shop there, and he gave me beads to chant. He brought neck beads and tied it around my neck, 2 rounds. So I said, what to do? So he said, you chant 4 rounds of 108 of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It will take you half an hour. And what else I should do? I asked him. So he bought a book called Science of Self-Realization. And he gave that book to me, present, and I started reading that book. And on the same day, I ate to the brim in the temple, and I decided I will not eat non-veg, fish, eggs, and I will chant Hare Krishna for the 4 rounds and read that book. And then onwards, every next Sunday onwards, every Sunday, every weekend, Saturday evening, I would bring my friends and myself and stay in the temple, eat the morning feast of Sunday, 15 items, Mahaprasadam, and I used to get really amazed with the taste that the food had, and I used to keep asking what is so special about this, and everyone to tell me that Krishna has tasted this, which I couldn't relate that time. But they said by offering to Krishna, the same food becomes transcendentally sweet and tasty. And I was somehow within my heart very much attracted and addicted to that taste and the food. So for that I would go every weekend, stay there, attend Bhagavatam, attend the Sunday morning Bhagavatam, Mangal Arati, chant, eat Mahaprasadam. And I can tell you that there used to be a very serene fragrance in the ISKCON temple, Juhu. It is still there today also, but those days it was quite striking that whenever we would enter temple, there would be a beautiful smell would come. Maybe could be of incense or could be of many things which would really satisfy and attract the heart. Mangalarti would have a different fragrance. Prasadam hall would have different fragrance. And the paintings and the pictures that would be there around were very captivating, very alluring and very attracting. And that serene atmosphere, welcoming devotees, very beautiful philosophy, along with my readings at home of the book Science of Self-Realization, which was in the form of question and answers, was very, very, very attractive. All my questions appeared to be answered in that book. The book had almost 500 questions, and at the end of the book, when I read, I was in 3rd MBBS, which was a very crucial year, the final year of the MBBS, and lots of studies were there. and I was still studying this book, and by the time I finished this book, I was in the October, which was right 1 month away from the exam, and I was chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra just by reading that one book. And this is how I came into Krishna consciousness, and the sincerity and dedication and consistency of His Grace Dayaram Prabhu in following me up, being kind with me, being patient with me, being tolerant to me, all my aggression, and still very lovingly following me up, giving me Mahaprasadam and telling me the philosophy. I am very grateful because of all this kindness, and most of all beautiful deities of Radha Ras Bihari Mandir, the beautiful philosophy and the books of Srila Prabhupada, the prasadam in Juhu temple, the atmosphere there, loving devotees, really attracted my heart. And all that frustration which was there in 12th standard for not going to IIT, that questioning nature and that rebellious nature because of dissatisfaction in life appeared to be getting resolved. Because before coming to Krishna consciousness, I had tried to do gymnasium very heavy for 5-6 years. Then I tried yoga for 2 years. Nothing could actually pacify me and satisfy me of my aggressive nature. But when I actually chanted Hare Krishna from 4th February onwards, 1984, I could see that what I actually wanted was happening to me, the change in my attitude and nature, and it really fulfilled me. Most of my questions, why things happen, how they happen, and what is karma and what is the connection of karma, how one should reconcile with the results of karma in our life, accept it as it is, be God conscious, all those appeared very relevant. So I thought this is the path of life I want to follow, and that's how I continued in Krishna consciousness. I joined ISKCON in 1984, and then in 1986, in January 26, I got initiated. It was also another breakthrough in spiritual life. So I am very thankful to Krishna and to devotees and to the movement of Hare Krishna, International Society of Krishna Consciousness, to include me, to accept me, and to keep me with them. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your kind words. One more question. Why wouldn't you leave ISKCON? Any particular reason?
Yeah, this is the story that I entered ISKCON with. Why wouldn't I leave ISKCON? Now it is about over 29 years that I'm in ISKCON, and never I felt that I made a mistake. I have joined full time. I stayed in Rishikesh, then I stayed in Vrindavan, then I stayed in Radha Gopinath temple, full time in the temple. Then I have been serving at Bhaktivedanta Hospital. I happen to be now the Deputy Director of Bhaktivedanta Hospital and Research Institute and its branches in Vrindavan and Barsana and so many places. ISKCON has given me fulfillment of life. ISKCON has given me purpose of life. ISKCON has given me reason why one should live and how one should live, and why things happen the way they happen, and how one should reconcile and still be happy in all those adverse and happy conditions of life which happen in your life. No other philosophy which I read before, like my name is Vivekananda from family background. I was naturally attracted to Swami Vivekananda. My father was attracted to Swami Nityananda of Ganeshpuri, Vajreshwari. My sister was following Brahma Kumaris. So I was kind of in touch with spirituality in one or other sense. But my query, even my caste, that is Gaud Saraswat Brahmin from Karnataka, where Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami were born. I am born in that caste. So my caste also has a very strong spiritual heritage and lineage and guru and everything. So I was kind of inquisitive right from my childhood, and I was knowing a bit of everything. But my young, maybe intelligent and enthusiastic, aggressive mind didn't get answers to all the questions anywhere from many of these spiritual pathways. And all my spiritual queries were answered in ISKCON. The philosophy was not only initially convincing, it always was convincing, and it is much more convincing than when I joined. As I study more and more the literatures of the Acharyas and Srila Prabhupada of ISKCON movement and the heritage. ISKCON is a way of life. Hare Krishna movement is the most revolutionary philosophy, the most convincing philosophy, most logical, and most philosophy which is in depth is there with Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and it gives you the highest goal of life, that is Prema Pumarto Mahan, that is love of Godhead. Everything else talks about Dharma Artha Kama Moksha. Everything else talks about liberation and peace and freedom from anxiety. All are moral, superficial, temporary solutions to temporary material problems. But attaining love of Godhead was told only in ISKCON, in the philosophy, and attainment of love of Godhead will be inclusive of all moksha and free from anxiety, peace, happiness, and reconciling with karma, and everything is all inclusive in love of Godhead. Plus the philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva, is also the most superior philosophy compared to all the other philosophies, because this philosophy is a reconciliation of all the philosophies in together, in collection, and that is all encompassing, all comprehensive. The living entity can find ultimate happiness when he follows the philosophy of Krishna consciousness in ISKCON, and my firm faith is that ISKCON is the perfect way of lifestyle. ISKCON lifestyle is a lifestyle which teaches you to become happy in the middle of your most miserable conditions in life. That is the philosophy that we have learnt. And the love, the kindness and the association of the devotees that we receive in ISKCON is not to be found anywhere. The kind of unity, the kind of connection, knitting that everybody has in the community of ISKCON, the community living, taking care of each other in difficult times, the unity, the service that we have, everyone. The most basic newcomer in ISKCON is much more realized personality spiritually than many more so-called people who are many years in their own philosophical and spiritual pathways. This is my firm conviction, not because I am in ISKCON. I have seen, because the lifestyle and the format and the formula that Prabhupada has given is applicable for hundreds of years now and in future also. It is not that the formula that Prabhupada gave was applicable only till he was on the planet. This organization and the structure and the futuristic planning strategy that ISKCON has, hardly any institute in the world has. I would never like to leave ISKCON, even if my wildest dreams and wildest mental aberrations and confusions of my life, I will not like to leave ISKCON, because I know all the situations that come bewildering in your life get reconciled in themselves when we strictly follow the ABCD of ISKCON philosophy. ISKCON philosophy is A, association of devotees, B, the scriptures, the books, C, chanting the holy name of the Lord, and D, the diet, that is the prasadam of the Lord. If one simply invests his energy in this A, B, C, D, one doesn't have to see anywhere else in life. His life will be fulfilled as my life is fulfilled. And not even one day, even today after 29 years of being in ISKCON as an active member, as an active participant, now we are like called as senior devotees because we have spent so many years. I never ever felt that I made a mistake. In fact, I am more and more enthused and convinced and you can say in ISKCON language fired up to tell about this to everybody else, because the way we enjoy our life, even in the middle of so many miseries that come up, the way we enjoy the real bliss of human life, what is human life meant for, that bliss nobody can offer. And one who enjoys that bliss of Krishna consciousness, of sincerely following the principles and lifestyle of Krishna consciousness in ISKCON, how one can keep quiet in enjoying it himself or herself? The enjoyment is such that we have to give it to others. And if you see me telling it to others, you can understand that it is not something superficial. It is there, the deep feeling of happiness that one feels in following this lifestyle, that only can make others, make the person tell others. It's not a job, it's not a paid job to tell others and make somebody like you, and you are paid for that if you get to 2 and more and 50 in the month. It's just matter of heart. So the impulse that all of us have to tell about this to others is a proof that we are so happy in following this. Tukaram Maharaj said, "Apulya sarke karave sakala jana." Why? Because one who enjoys the bliss of Krishna consciousness cannot keep quiet. He has to give everybody else. And that particular satisfaction, fulfillment, happiness, bliss of life, I have achieved because I joined ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada, people say he left in 1977. But for us, he never left. Through his teachings, through his books, through the lifestyle that he gave, through the format that we are following, through the format that he gave, the organization, the strategy that he made for the 10,000 years to come in future, no one has given. All those so-called religions come and go, so-called sects come and go, so-called cults come and disappear. But the philosophy of ISKCON, you can see today also when you follow, it will be applicable for next 10,000 years. And those who take up Krishna consciousness, whether they are Africans, blacks, American whites and British and Europeans and Eastern people and whatever you say, Oriental people, all kinds of people, when they follow the formula of spiritual life given by ISKCON, they appear to be happy as we are happy. The happiness which they experience, which I experience, is same. It is universally, globally and creation point of view applicable. It is friendly to whole creation. It is not only friendly to Indians or Americans. All human beings who are human beings who follow this philosophy in any country, in any weather, in any language they speak, they experience same happiness and they develop same unity and same uniqueness of understanding, and one can relate to them. So that is our firm faith, and I don't see any reason. If ISKCON has given you the purpose of life, if ISKCON has given you practical lifestyle, if ISKCON has given us purity, if ISKCON has given us the holy name of the Lord, if ISKCON has given us the philosophy of the importance of the holy name of the Lord, and we see we are happy and whoever is following that, they are also happy. They were so confused and unhappy and miserable in life, they have become blissful. All the devotees' faces are so bright and shining and effulgent with happiness. It's not artificial, it's genuine, it's heartfelt. So who will leave ISKCON? Who has never followed the principles of ISKCON as ISKCON has taught? They will leave ISKCON. Who has never understood the essence of philosophy that ISKCON has taught and just remained superficially over there? They will leave ISKCON. But those who have understood, followed sincerely and enjoyed the essence and the nectar of Krishna consciousness, they will never leave ISKCON. Another reason why we will not leave ISKCON, the sacrifice, the dedication and the efforts that Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Maharaj, each and everybody's Guru Maharaj has taken to give this nectar to this great wealth of spirituality, the great wealth of the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan, the effort that they have taken to give it to all of us. We feel so grateful for that. Who in this world cares for anybody? And here is some Swami who is no one to us physically, no one to us in family, but has taken so much efforts to convince us, take time out patiently to follow us up, to give us guidance, to shelter us, to soothe us in times of difficulties, to give courage and kindness and encouragement in times of difficulties. Who can do that in today's world? Who cares for anybody in this world? So even though sometimes we may feel in future a little unhappy with what was happening around in ISKCON, but we will not still leave because we are so grateful. In one family there are 5 brothers, 2 sisters and other uncles and everything. There may be some discord or some difference of opinion. It's natural to be in the material world. But still the family lives together out of love and the bond and affection for each other. So we will be together in ISKCON out of gratitude and love for all the fellow devotees who have created a large family of devotees who give bliss to everybody else, who are blissful, who are kind and compassionate, who are so genuinely helpful and friendly. Where you will get such kind of association, quality association of great quality people, full of etiquettes and full of culture, full of substance in life, full of kindness. It's all dreamy descriptions that we want to have, and we actually have all those things. So I feel he will be only a fool to find fault and leave, and not us. Hare Krishna.